Hey, y'all. Happy Wednesday, friend. Happy Wednesday, child. Welcome into the show. I decided I was going to get on live today, and I don't want to say ramble, but just kind of talk about some of the things that we have to conquer behind closed doors as entrepreneurs, right? So, even as I'm thinking about my own journey, and I just caught up with a friend, and she was like, "What's been going on?" And I was like, "Everything and nothing at the same time." As in, I'm not saying not anything different, but things are moving. And when we think about like being a person with like big dreams, you want to do all of these amazing things, a couple of things happen, right? Hey, y'all, happy Wednesday. A couple of things happen, right? Um, Number one, I think like I'm realizing I was doing something this morning and I was like, dang, girl, you hustling. Like, because I was like, my team needs leads. Like, I'm out here, like, literally, like, hustling. I was like, dang, like, this stuff is a hustle. Like, it's not, and I'm not saying trying, but I'm conquering the season of really making sure that the business is offline. And I was like, this is a hustle. Like, and when I say it's a hustle, I mean like constantly finding people to be in conversation with, constantly finding organizations to collaborate with, constantly finding people who need to be a part of my community, who need to be at my events, who need to know about my events, planning the events, planning stuff for the community. I was like, man, this is a hustle. So just realizing like how much of a hustle is involved. But anyway, happy Wednesday, y'all. Welcome to the show. Y'all know I want to get on and just make sure that we have space to just talk about some of the stuff that we're conquering behind closed doors. So I've just been thinking, and if you're a business owner, you already know this. Like it is a hustle to like really like always constantly like breaking to your next level. But I'm so here for it. So last night I was actually hosting Inside the Conquer Club, and it's September. And we're doing this theme inside the Conquer Club called Conquer 8, where we're going to be walking through like finding our next 8 customers together. So I'm really breaking down what I believe is kind of like the three parts to having like your online business, right? Where you have your branding, you have your marketing, then you have selling. So when we did the call last night, for a lot of ladies, they were like, I really understand the branding part of it and the marketing part of it, but I really don't sell. So we kind of broke down what's the difference between like marketing and selling. And even if you're listening to this, it may have you think also, it's just making sure that for some of us, for a lot of us actually, posting is not actually selling, right? So we want to make sure that they actually have sales activities to choose from. Some of those sales activities, I know for me, it's like DMing people, right? So I can post all day, but it's the posting and the DM that moves the needle. So we were just kind of talking through that about doing that branding, that marketing, and the selling, right? Bringing the selling into it too, which was so eye opening. So cheers to y'all. Cheers to the ladies inside the Conquer Club. But that's what we'll be doing this month in September. We'll be conquering our next 8 perfect clients together. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see, especially because we have some ladies in the Conquer Club that they're mostly service based. So I'll be excited to see them get their 8 clients and stuff, child. And we also kind of talked about I'm so excited because I was sharing all of the how I kind of break down how to plan for the month. And I don't mean in terms of planning content, right? But just planning overall, okay, this is how much I want to make. If I want 8 people, this is how many people I need to reach out to, this is how many consults I need, like just diving into the details of what it looks like to plan and then making sure the numbers work. So it's exciting. But that take us back to what I was saying earlier, where I was like, it's a hustle. It's truly a hustle. Okay. So, welcome in. Happy Wednesday. If you listen to the replay of this, let me know down in the comments. But let me know what you're going to be conquering today inside your business. But I just want to share that's what we're doing inside the Conquer Club, child. And the Conquer Club, we meet every Tuesday night. And it's our signature program where once you come into our community, you join the Tuesday night calls, you participate in our online events and stuff that we do. So it's really cool. You get a chance to grow your business and dive into sales with a lot of accountability in our frameworks that we have for social media strategy and stuff. So, which a couple of them I've taught even on YouTube, like the ICE framework. But okay, happy Wednesday. I got my Red Bull today, so you can see my energy is like fired up. But I want to dive into I guess I was just really kind of talking about this idea of how much a hustle it is. And I want to kind of dive into this idea of hustle culture, right? And I feel like I see people that are either like extremely in support of hustle culture or they're like anti hustle culture. And I want to know where you kind of fall on this spectrum. And I want to tell you what I think about it. I've said it time and time again that I'm not mad at hustle culture at all. I'm not mad at hustle culture. I'm not mad at somebody being honest about how much work it takes for you to be able to grow your business because I think that that's the reality of it. I think that if we are too dependent on stepping back and resting so much, I don't think we move the needle like we should. That's just honestly what I believe. Honestly. So I'm not mad at hustle culture at all. And I want you to tell me what you think about it. Because I know a lot of people have a lot of different opinions and say things almost like, well, y'all gonna kill yourself. I mean, I get it. I truly do. But I think that in my experience, oh, I need to rest, child. I need to take a minute. I need to strategize. I need to get in chat GPT and think this out and plan this out. And it's so anti-hustle that it's lazy. That's why I'm not mad at hustle culture. And I also don't, even when I think about as a coach and as a leader, as a speaker, I have to be careful about, I have this message of giving yourself grace, but I'm like, baby, if you want this to be your full-time income, then baby, you better buckle up. Cause it ain't no way you can just do it, 2 hours a day. No, ma'am. You better buckle up. Cause you finna be working. You finna be working 10, 11, 12, 13 hours a day and still don't get no customers. Still don't get no check. 3, 4 weeks in a row. Like literally better buckle up. So that's why like I said, I even have to be careful about how I'm delivering my message and stuff. Because I do talk about even my framework around rest is if you're gonna do rest, fine. If you need to step away, fine, but put a little expiration date on it because you don't want to set your business down for so long that it looks so big to pick it back up. And that's why I'm not mad at hustle culture. I'm not mad at somebody being real about the amount of work and resilience and failures and tries that it takes in order for us to be able to get visibility, become leaders, and grow our businesses. It is a straight up dogfight. That's why I'm not mad at hustle culture because I think that it exposes the reality of what entrepreneurship is really like behind the scenes for people that are actually moving and doing it. Not just for y'all know I talk about that season I was in my business where I felt like I was doing so good. I was making money online. I was using my Facebook alongside like me working my job and it was just working so well. And I was like, man, I really want to grow this. And then my coach, she was like, girl, you only got a social media page. Like, grow what? Like, what are you talking about? And I was like, oh, that's the difference. Big difference. Big difference. So even when yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a big difference. So I just want to see what y'all thought about that. What do you think about hustle culture? What do you think about hustle culture? Because I'm here for it. I know the people be like, y'all just go work yourself to the grave. I be like, baby, must ain't never tried to be great at nothing because it's some work. It's truly some work. And you let me know what you think about it. And I think that do I think that rest is important? Yes. But I believe, and I have seen this before, where I don't want to say too rested because I can't speak for somebody else's experience, but we are paralyzed. Like paralyzed. Like I see it so much doing way more planning than executing. Way more fantasy theory of what our business could look like than executing. Way more seeing what everybody else is doing and coming back. Like, and I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. But like I said on the show last week, nothing beats being waist deep in the business. That's how you learn. You learn by doing something and it not work, reaching out to people and them not responding. You be like, "Ooh, well, that message do sound a little weird. Maybe I should tweak it and try it again." Like that's a part of the process. And nobody's exempt from that. Y'all know I talk about this all the time about how even when I'm onboarding ladies or doing consultations with ladies, you're going to be when you're in my program, I'm going to tell you, you're going to be rejected. People are going to tell you no. People are going to ghost you. But that also tells me you're taking chances. You're asking. You're having conversations with customers. And we can't get so wrapped up in the y'all know I always say if you're not hearing a lot of no's, you're probably not hearing a ton of yeses either. Or you're only getting the yeses. You're just taking what you can get. Which is why I'm so big, and I even had to learn this for myself, right? About sitting down at the beginning of the month and saying, okay, well, what am I going to do? And the most important thing is not deviating from that plan. If I plan out something for the month of September, I say, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do this event. We're going to host this webinar. We're going to do this live stream. Like, what are we going to do to generate the income? And then what needs to happen underneath that and not deviate away from the plan. And at the end of it, what do we do good? What do we do bad? Let's do it all over again. Like, period. That's why I'm so big on that planning. Because if not, you know what happened? I noticed that even for me or even like my experience with some of my ladies, when we don't plan, it turns into I'll take what I can get. Well, I ain't playing nothing, but I still got 3 sales. But it wasn't predictable. You had no idea that like so then next month happens and those 3 don't come, nobody comes or one comes. If you did good, you need to know how, and if you did bad, you need to know why. Okay, so if you did have a good month where 3 people came, where did they come from? What happened? Right? So that's why even with this being the beginning of September, like I said, inside the Conquer Club, we're doing Conquer 8, where we're going to be getting our 8 perfect clients together. So we meet on Zoom every Tuesday night, but also inside the free Facebook group, inside the Wake Up and Conquer group, we're going to be doing 100 Conquerors, which is a challenge that we're actually going to do inside the group, where I'm going to get together 100 entrepreneurs, right? And we're going to go on our journey of understanding how to get their first 2 to 3 clients. Well, I won't say first 2 to 3 clients, but next 2 to 3 clients. Child. Definitely not your first. So we'll be doing that, which is so exciting. So that's what we'll be doing for the month of September. I didn't even realize that this was a thing, but I've been seeing a lot of people talking about like locking in for the rest of the year. A lot of people like, I'm locked in September, October, November, December. And I feel the same way. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, the rest of like these last 4 months, I got to lock in. I was like, I got to lock in. And I feel like this year I changed. I don't want to say I changed so much, but I tightened up so much of my stuff. And I feel like this year I did the same thing day after day, week after week, month after month on the back end of the business. And this year, this literally felt like a job for me, which is good. I was looking for that shift. I was looking for me to come in, sit down in my office, and kind of clock in to Conquer and start to see it as a little bit more repetitive work where I'm truly working, you know what I'm saying, on these kind of like, I won't say so CEO tasks. This year, yeah. So that's why I would like the end of this year, like I'm locking in. And I've been seeing a lot of people talk about that too. So is that something you've been thinking about? Where like this September, October, November, December, you like, you know what? All the stuff that I kind of, the light bulb moments that went out for me this year, like I'm about to lock into that. Like I feel like this year, I didn't just have little light bulbs. I had massive light bulbs go off for me. Like stuff that I've been trying to put together for years in terms of like visibility and stuff, like it clicked for me this year. And I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm just about to 10x that. And another reason, I'm gonna say this too. While I always talk about planning, and if you want to know more about planning or what I mean when I say planning, I got a video on my YouTube channel that breaks down how I do like a monthly my plan for your small business. Another reason why I love the planning too is I don't know about y'all, but I get distracted. But now I know day to day, week to week, month to month, I'm doing the same stuff over and over and over again and just doing small tweaks. And I love that so much. I forgot what I was going to say about another reason why I love planning, but it'll come back to me, child. I know I was saying something about being able to 10x the business, 10x the, child. I don't know. It'll come back to me. It'll come back to me. But I hope this makes you think about your month of September, especially if you're in a season where you're like, man, I need to be able to take control of this. I don't want to just take what I can get. I want to go after my opportunities. Or maybe you're not even thinking. You're like, man, if I was just good enough, more people would notice me. Child, yes and no. Yes, if you probably, I don't know, possible, but you also could go after it too. Because most of us will just, I mean, you can put yourself out there, but you don't just put yourself out there and just sit and wait. You don't just post it and sit and wait. That's not that's not smart. We don't want to do that. But for some people it'll work. Like when it got to the point where like one of the Conquer Club members, that's her world now. Her world now is when she puts out content or when she markets, it picks up some of the weight of the selling for her. It truly does, which is exactly what we want. But for those of us that are getting there, we do the marketing, which is the posting, plus we sell alongside that also. Hosting your events, doing your collaborations, reaching out to people, like you're doing the selling too. So I hope that makes you think about something for your business for September to be able to grow in terms of visibility, customers, business. And also, we talked about the hustle culture a little bit too. Yeah, I was this morning, I was getting ready for a show and I was like, oh, yeah, I'm excited for today and stuff because I got a lot of stuff on my calendar. But yesterday, I was so tired from Labor Day. I was exhausted. Like we had a cookout at our house Monday for Labor Day, and when everybody left, I probably was sleep within 15 minutes. I'm talking about makeup, everything. I was exhausted. And I was like, bruh, I cannot get down like I used to. Well, I can. I'm not gonna say I can't. But I was like, dang, my recovery was a little rough after that cookout. I woke up yesterday like I don't want to do nothing. I was like, I don't want to go live. I don't want to do nothing. So yesterday I didn't go live and I end up recording. I did end up doing like 16 TikToks to be able to, for the month of September and stuff. But I was exhausted. I was exhausted. I was so tired. And I ended up doing the Conquer Club. I was like, child, my recovery ain't what it used to be. But we had a good time though. We had a good time. So think about what you're going to conquer today inside your business. And if it's for the month of September, you've got your small business and you're up to speed. You're like, okay, I'm thinking about content and what I want to do. Like I said, inside the Conquer Club, we're doing our next 8 clients together. So maybe something you want to consider if you haven't really narrowed down how to just go after your customers and get them to come to you all the time. So that's what we're doing there. Um, but if you decide to do it solo, I've got a lot of videos on my YouTube about how to plan out your business for the month, how to start with your sales goal, figure out how many customers you need, ideas for reaching out to people, getting people to come into your world. That way you can do some sales activity alongside your social media posting to see what that does in terms of like boosting the conversations that you're having or boosting the deals that you're closing or boosting the amount of people that are booking with you. Okay, because that's my hope for your child. That's what I want you to conquer. So let this be your gentle reminder. And then hustle culture. I'm here for it a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. I'm here for some hustle culture. I'm sorry. It is what it is. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at the reality that you have to work a million hours every week. Harsh reality. Harsh reality. And I feel like if there's a business owner where we don't know nobody life, but if there's a business owner that's I feel like the business owners that I know that really do it in real life. I'm not talking about the ones that only do it online. I'm talking about that really do it in real life. They have been honest about the amount of work that it takes, the amount of grit that it takes, the rejection that it takes, like the resilience that it takes to be able to not just build something sustainable, right? Because a lot of us, like we've touched some money at work, we've touched some money in our business, but I'm talking about building something humongous, which is what I want and I'm building for myself. I'm talking about something next level, humongous, like millions and millions and millions or billions of dollars, like big time. We're talking about facing so much rejection and resilience and ability to be able to problem solve and think on your feet that it's got to be next level. So if on a random Wednesday in September, like these are the days that count. These are the days that's behind the scenes where we got to get to it. These are the days that behind the scenes you feel like nobody's watching and it don't matter because it's only one person, it's only two people, it's only 40 followers, it's only 400 followers, it's only 4,000 followers, it's only 14,000 followers. But these are the days that matter, that build up to that. It doesn't happen where you go from bright idea, I'm such a genius, this is brilliant, to next thing you know, it all just happened overnight. It's those little bitty invisible days in between where you've got to be in the corner working on your jump shot. It can't just be, oh, I'm just so brilliant. I'm going to sit in the corner and get discovered, and then I'm going to blow up and I'm going to know how to handle it. No, absolutely not. You shouldn't even want to do that to yourself. Like, not build up the ability to be able to, like, come on now. No, mm-mm. No, 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 no. No. And nobody's exempt from that process, y'all. Nobody's exempt from that. Nobody. There's not a person you follow, no matter how perfect it looks, where they ain't had to go through the journey. It may look different and you may not know. Maybe better, worse. I don't know. But nobody exempt from going through the process, especially if you are building something great. If you're building something mediocre and average, then you probably can skate and scam your way by. It just is what it is. We all know a little scam or two. But I challenge you on the days where you feel like nobody's watching and it doesn't count because you haven't blown up yet. That's where your resilience is built. That's where your questions get answered. That's where you learn your strategy. That's how you learn how to navigate. That's how you learn how to deal with that type of customer. Like, that's where you learn. And y'all know I'm a chat GPT girl too, baby. I'll be saying, well, what you think about this? And what about for my, but it's only so much I can do in conversation with that if I don't execute. Now that thing is limitless. I love it. But I must execute in order for any of it to count. Okay. So happy Wednesday. Y'all already know the vibes. Do your thing. Conquer something today. Conquer something this week. And then, of course, because it is the beginning of September, think about what you're conquering for the month. Now, we also are sending out, we're doing this via DM. We're actually sending out monthly. They're really short, y'all. They're not long, but it's a monthly planning worksheet that I've created. We've been sending it out via DM. So you can DM us monthly planning. Let's do monthly. DM the word monthly and we can send it to you. I'll give you a link, girl. It's free. You can download it. You'll get it instantly in your inbox. That way, if you've been thinking like I really been showing up, but this idea of selling, I kind of need to get into that. I feel like I know it, but I don't plan it out. That worksheet is only a couple pages and it's going to talk you through how to do your sales for the month. And then you can also use it throughout the month too. And it's just gonna give you a lot of tools on how to stay focused on selling only and not just showing up and looking cute, which ain't no wrong with that. But we're gonna do both. We're gonna do both this month, okay? So shout out to y'all. Y'all know the vibes. When you wake up tomorrow, making sure you conquer something. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye, friend. Bye, y'all.
Me, the Conquer Club is a sisterhood. I didn't know a lot of these ladies. I have truly made connections, real friendships, bonds. I've cried with these ladies. It elevated my business so much, just putting a foot on the gas and stomping on necks, like literally. I'm really proud to be a part of this space, and I think this is what entrepreneurs need.